Hi, and welcome to the Diamond Report for Sunday, March 19th, 2017. This is your host, Doug Diamond. Let's get right into the headlines. A Zero Hedge article, what the new CIA leaks tell us about the U.S. government. Kim Jong-un hails new birth of North Korean rocket industry after missile engine launch. And here's a companion piece to that Zero Hedge article. North Korea one step closer to ICBM launch after successful test of new type of rocket engine. Chile was struck by a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. U.S. Geological Survey. A 4.8 earthquake is not a huge earthquake by any stretch. It's typical pressure transfer from the Western Pacific to the Eastern Pacific. I've looked at it on Earthquake 3D. It was a very deep earthquake and probably caused very little damage. Anyway, if you want to hear some really good earthquake analysis, I highly recommend following Dutch Sense on YouTube and on Twitch. His forecasting is very good. U.S. landing ship with Marines enters the Black Sea for drills with the Romanian Navy. RT.com. Sounds like things are heating up more and more every day. Germany slams Trump's claim that it owes vast sums to NATO and the U.S. Trump administration rolls back Obama protections on student loans. Those are Zero Hedge articles. David Stockman offers more proof of Janet Yellen's idiocy. No argument there. The Intel chair. No collusion between Trump and Russia. Leak is the only crime. Yeah. Obama's ghost haunts Trump. Is the U.S. ex-leader really still behind the throne? It's a Sputnik article. I think he is to some degree, not really the throne, but he's not leaving peacefully, which no one really thought he would. It's college kids creating chaos to resist Trump. They're professionals. That says an author says that. It's on dailycaller.com. Trump billboard with Nazi-like dollar signs. Nuclear mushroom clouds erected in the U.S. That was in Phoenix, I believe. Planet X to trigger apocalypse this year, and the elite know, say conspiracy theorists. I would say only some conspiracy theorists actually believe that. I personally am not a pre-tribulation rapture person. I don't believe that is biblical in any sense. Planet X I do think is real. However, I don't think the September 23rd astrological event that will be happening will have anything to do with the rapture, personally. I do think it's important, but to me it's more important with what Anthony Patch talks about and CERN and what they're doing with CERN. I do think that September 23rd this year will prove to be a very important date, but not for the reasons that this article is talking about. Bomb scare at the White House. Man drives to the gates and tells security he has explosives in his car. The second security alert at the president's home in one day. Things are really, really getting strange in the D.C. White House area. And again, reaching the point of insanity. Daily Coin. Yeah, I think we've already reached that point. Trump assassination will likely ignite a civil war. Civil War II. Yeah. If that does happen, then I think it will. Great Recession, headed for Greater Depression. Michael Pinto. This thing will all unravel and unravel very, very quickly. That was an interview with Greg Hunter on USA Watchdog. Greg's website and interviews are really good. EPA scientists warn that glyphosate, which is Roundup herbicide, strips minerals out of food, leaving the body deficient in zinc and magnesium. And that is true. Even if you're eating organic, I think it's hard to get away from that. It's a better thing to do, but so much of the food, if it's GMO-laden food, it's not going to have much in the way of minerals anyway, in addition to the herbicide, to the Roundup. Antibiotic apocalypse. Harvard reveals doomsday scenario that could kill 10 million a year. I'm not sure what that's about. I haven't really looked at that article, but it is a clickable type clickbait headline. Liberals freak out over Obamacare replacement law. claim it would result in thousands of births of babies that should be aborted. That's interesting. The liberals do love their abortion. No surprise there. FBI investigate child sex ring within the U.S. police force. Muslim gang pummels young Danish couple for eating ham pizza. It's a Gateway Pundit article. Another senior Russian official has died. What is that, 7? I think that's 7 lately. Child raping cop gets only 3 years in jail, while doctor gets 18 for helping people with plants. That sounds about right. That's the way things are working out these days. If you're growing a plant, you've done apparently more to break the law than if you've raped a child. It's obvious that's the way things are going as far as our laws and judicial system. Watch how to go through a DUI checkpoint like a pro in less than 30 seconds. That's the freethoughtproject.com. 2 months into Trump's term, the media still doesn't get the message the voters sent. Yeah, I don't know that they're really ever gonna understand what it means, and even if they did understand what it means, I think they're gonna fight it tooth and nail. Preppers, if you aren't doing this annually, you won't be ready. You won't be disaster ready. ReadyNutrition.com. Probably worth a read. Bank loan creation crashes at fastest pace since the financial crisis. Another Zero Hedge article. Rounding up and locking down George Soros. That would be a good thing to do. Not sure it's going to happen, though. Dave Hodges' article, globalists pressuring YouTube to censor anything free speech. Absolutely, I think that's going to get worse and worse. Just as a side note, I turned on the closed captioning just to look at how YouTube analyzed one of the last videos that I posted, and it was amazingly accurate. Their algorithms that analyze your words does a really good job, which means that's probably also then reporting back to the power structure within YouTube/Google that if you say certain keywords, it's going to kick that back to them, and then that will cause your videos to be rejected to run ads. And eventually I think that's going to work into if you don't say words within their approved glossary, if you don't say words in there, then your video simply won't make it onto YouTube. I think that's where we're headed, because I do think that their algorithm for analyzing what's being said in videos is very good, and it's getting better all the time. I know a few years ago it was no good, but now it is really good. And it's really just a matter of time before YouTube isn't the only one that has it. Facebook will have it as well for their videos. So just something to watch out for. Did the Daily Mail just reveal the next false flag? It's another CommonSenseShow.com, TheCommonSenseShow.com article. That's actually a short little interview, or not an interview, but a short little video that Dave Hodges put together. It's worth a listen. He's talking there about an increase in cell phone activity in the D.C. area, which I thought was kind of interesting. World War III is nearing as U.S.-Chinese talks fail. Mini nukes and mosquito-like robot weapons being primed for future warfare. That's a CNBC article. De Niro finally opens up about his son's autism link to vaccines. That's a Health Nut News article. It's worth a read. Japan urged by China to deal with Fukushima-affected food. I'm not sure what they can do, but I think that's not a bad thing. CNN's Fareed Zakaria goes on profanity-laced Trump meltdown live on air. And then Steve Quayle says, I hope he hasn't eaten human brains like his CNN cohort, maybe suffering from early stages of Kuru, in my opinion. Sarcasm. Kuru is a disease that you get over a period of time from eating human flesh. Secret Russian weapon could wipe out New York City, Boston, and D.C. We covered that one yesterday, talking about the massive radioactive tidal wave. Trump administration seeks proposals for physically imposing 30-foot high, aesthetically pleasing border wall. That's a Zero Hedge article. ActivistPost.com. MIT ups the activism ante, offers $250,000 to best act of disobedience. That's funny. The struggle to keep our bees. What's really happening to honey beehives. OldWorldGardenFarms.com. Also, Dane Wigington has a lot of information about the bees and geoengineering and how it's affecting bee populations around the world on geoengineeringwatch.org. So you could go there too. North Korea's Kim Jong-un says engine test is new birth of rocket industry. We covered that a minute ago. Yemen at point of no return as conflict leaves almost 7 million close to famine. It's more about locking down George Soros. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a good thing if it does. Is there any truth to the existence and damning character assassination of mighty legendary Cyclops? In our Next True Legends DVD, Holocaust of the Giants, we deal at length with the reality of the Cyclops. Fukushima prepares to host the 2020 Olympic baseball and softball as nuclear expert calls global cataclysm as close to hell as I can imagine. Anonymous warns one of the biggest threats on Earth and humanity now faces. Yeah, absolutely. The war on Western culture. One of the overarching themes of the Frankfurt School was total intolerance for any viewpoint but its own. This is also a basic trait of today's political correctness believers. That's a newswithviews.com article. That's also another really good news site. Nuclear Turkey. Imam, close to Erdogan, calls for weapons now amid tensions with EU. A daily update from the Daily Crow. That's a really, really good website. I like that one a lot. Amazing number series associated with world events. Matt, that's Matt Peterson, has tremendous insight into world events and God's signature upon them. Matt does do an incredible job. If you read any of his articles, he can connect all the digits, all the numbers, everything that would be in the quantum fabric, if you will, of God's design. It's really amazing. World War III is nearing. We covered that a minute ago. Pentagon officials warned of 1 million casualties in nightmare scenarios if the war broke out with North Korea. Disastrous national security breach in the U.S. Congress on February 2nd. 3 Pakistani brothers with top access to the computer systems inside the U.S. House of Reps containing some of the nation's most sensitive information were removed by cops. HomelandSecurityUS.com. We covered this one yesterday. The homosexual director of Beauty and the Beast wants to rip the Bible to pieces. Disney inserted homosexual propaganda into the movie by making Gaston's manservant LeFou homosexual and featuring the studio's first exclusively gay scene. Please, people, don't go see that movie. Surveillance? What surveillance? Our NSA does not have an open and transparent history. The NSA was created in secret in 1952, not by Congress, but by a pen stroke of Harry Truman in a 7-page document that remained classified. USDefenseWatch.com. And report hundreds of millions of Pacific salmon missing, presumed dead. Government issues emergency order along U.S. West Coast. Japan suffering historic collapse. Fish starving to death. All forms of life dying in stunning numbers across the Pacific. That's an ENEnews.com article. And then Project Dragnet. NSA documents prove surveillance on Trump for years. And also I would add that they that it came out that they were surveilling Alex Jones as well. And speaking of Alex Jones, we're on Infowars.com. White House security boosted after arrest. A third such security scare in just over a week. Yeah, it's like 2 in 24 hours. It's crazy. China pushes back on all U.S. talks of all options over North Korea. White House tax reform may begin in late spring, says Spicer. I'm not sure that'll happen, but hopefully it will. Outrage as Donald Trump's Nazi billboard with $ swastikas in downtown Phoenix. Things are getting crazy out there. Trump says Rachel Maddow of NBC and NBC News are bad people who have something wrong with them for reporting on his tax returns. Yeah, they want to get him. That's what they have wrong with him. They're absolutely out to get him and take him out and take him down. No evidence of collusion between Trump campaign and Russia. Tim Allen on Trump, surveillance, and Hollywood leftists. That's probably an interesting read. I have not looked at that. Comedian expresses amazement at inauguration ceremony. A couple of these we covered yesterday. It's not college kids creating chaos to resist Trump. They're professionals. This is a revolution that will take Donald Trump down and make America a socialist country. I think we're already a socialist country. It'll make it communist, in my opinion. Police are using fake Facebook accounts to track gun supporters, says a lawyer. That's dailycaller.com. Documents show police created Facebook profile and scanned publicly posted conversations. Interesting. Trump's EPA grants Flint $100 million to fix a broken water system. I'm not sure that'll help. Expanded internet access in Muslim world could spur the next Islamic culture war. Free Beacon. Another Free Beacon article. CBO analyst. Higher taxes and government programs decrease incentive to work. North Korea said it will launch a nuclear strike if a single bullet is fired. That's the Yahoo article. And then again, NSA documents prove surveillance of Trump and his family. And last, before we go, I would invite you to go over to our Lost Arts Radio website. It's a radio show that I produce and engineer with the host, Richard Sachs. If you go to lostartsradio.com and along the top you click on articles, you'll go to a news page. And these are articles that we post several times per week. And to go along with that news, you can also go to the homepage. And on the homepage, under hottest news selections, you'll see 8 or 10 new videos that are posted that are just important informational type videos that kind of goes in tandem with our articles page. So it's good information there as well. You can go there and check that out. The left-hand column is our most recent radio shows. And then this also tells what's happening next. We've got the Saturday live call-in show that we do every week at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And you can click here to tune in at that time or listen to the archive. And then every Sunday night we have our show with a guest or a panel of guests sometimes. That's also at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, lostartsradio.com. Thanks again for listening and watching the Diamond Report, and I will see you tomorrow.